Guess what you find me doing today? I'm going to share with y'all the way that I'm cooking my turkey for Thanksgiving. Well, not really, because we're going to Pigeon Forge and Paula's Family Kitchen is going to be feeding us our Thanksgiving meal. But this is the way that I would cook my turkey if we were going to be home this Thanksgiving. Now, the first thing I want to do is pull out my giblets. Then, the first thing I do with my bird is I look for pin feathers. Because I can't stand seeing any feathers on the bird. And especially, they're always bad around the feet. Look at that. If somebody wants to eat that whole leg, I just don't want them getting a bunch of pin feathers. Now, I'm cooking a little bit over a 12-pound turkey, and to me, that's just the perfect size, especially if you're going to fry a turkey. I definitely recommend a 12-pound bird. It will fry just right. So I'm going to mix up some butter, some shallots, and house seasoning. When you're dealing with poultry, you want to wash your hands a good bit because, and you never want to eat medium or medium rare chicken in any shape, form, or fashion. Never. Okay, so let me get my bowl out, and I'm gonna mix up our butter, which is at room temperature, just nice and soft. See, it's so soft, just want to stick to the paper. Love it. I hope y'all will let me know how you cook your turkeys. I was over at Jamie and Brooks last night, had supper with him, and Jamie went out and bought him a smoker. And that boy knows how to cook on a smoker. I told him, I said, I think you're a better cook than your mama. He said, oh, I don't know if I'd go that far, Mama. But he is. He's a good cook. All right. Let me get my bearings. All right, now I've got some shallots that I'm going to mince up. And I'm going to mix that in with the butter, our house seasoning, and some fresh garlic. And then I'm going to take this bird and I'm going to rub that all over that bird. He's going to get a massage like he has never had a massage before. Okay, so I'm finishing up with the things that we're going to add to our softened butter. And I've got about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I have 1 whole shallot mixed and minced. And to that, I'm going to be adding a tablespoon of our house seasoning. And that 1 shallot hopefully yielded us about 2 tablespoons. And I think it did. It was kind of a nice, healthy looking shallot. Okay. So there we go. The only thing we've got left to put in is our house seasoning. Garlic and shallots, there's like sticky. You know, when you mince them, Eddie, have you ever noticed? All right, so.
I've never
sticky.
tried the shallot.
All right, that's 1. They give such a good flavor, shallots do. All right, I'm putting in 3 teaspoons, and that equals 1 tablespoon. 3 teaspoons equal 1 tablespoon. So I'm just gonna mix those together. Oh, and I do want to add a little parsley. I've got to mince some parsley. Because we can't forget about our vegetables. Isn't that right, Eddie? Y'all, I'm trying. I'm really trying to be good. Okay. This is a pretty flat leaf. And and it smells so good. Just smells fresh, like dirt, you know? Something like that. Just smells like the dirt and the earth when I go outside. It smells very good. So, we're gonna mince some of this up pretty good. And then we'll see these little specks of parsley. They'll show up when the turkey is done and we are carving into it. You'll see our parsley just swimming through our turkey. That's about as chopped as it's gonna get, Eddie, using this board. And this is one of my favorite little boards. The size of it, I don't know where I got it. I think somebody may have given it to me, but I might have bought it at an antique shop. In other words, from a junk shop. Okay. Beautiful. Now we finally got our turkey dried. And I'm gonna rub this turkey down. You know, I promised him a massage. And I'm a woman that's good for her word. I wanted to get up underneath the skin of that leg, but I'm gonna have to go this way to get under the skin. And I don't wanna break it. I just wanna gently pull that skin away from the body of the turkey. So you just have to do it nice and slow and kind of gentle, because you're trying to break through a membrane that looks like that. So now I'm going to take this chunk of beautiful goodness right here, and I'm going to stick him underneath his skin. And then I'm going to just kind of distribute it evenly by patting it down. And now we're going to come over here and do his other breast just this way. See that membrane? Okay, so I want to put it far enough down so it will run into the wings. And then we're going to put some inside of there, inside that cavity. I don't know if, like I said, I just want to hear from y'all and hear how y'all cook your turkeys or whatever you choose for Thanksgiving, and share it with us, your friends. Okay, so now I'm going to take that other leg and I'm going to stick him back through this holder so his legs will, stay together. There, I think we got it in there pretty good. All right, now I'm gonna fold my wings back under his, shoulders. So they won't pop out like that one did. Little turd of a wing. I don't lick my fingers after this one, even though that butter looks good. I don't do that. All right, now I'm gonna add a little house seasoning to it, even though I had a tablespoon in there. I just didn't feel like the salt maybe got everywhere. So I'm gonna do it just like that. And old Tom looks pretty good to me. So we are gonna cook Tom turkey. And let me double check my numbers. 375 degree preheated oven, and we're gonna roast him until his internal temperature reaches 165. Now, I don't know if you still stuff your turkey. The health department or the FDA, they really don't recommend stuffing your turkeys anymore, because that dressing in there, it can sour so quick because of that meat, and the heat can't get to the stuffing. So I would recommend stuffing, maybe if you're doing a chicken, a large chicken, that would probably work for you. But I always do my dressing now in a pan, and serve it on the side. So 165, and that comes to about 18 minutes per pound, y'all, and this is just shy of 13 pounds. So here we go. This is so hard, Eddie. It's so hard. Looks delicious. I want y'all to just feast your eyes on this beautiful turkey. The butter and the spices, it just did its magic. And you can see the parsley laying all over it where it's kind of got brown. But we're not through with it yet, because I am going to serve this with a bourbon pecan glaze. And to make our glaze is very simple. We're going to start with 2 sticks of butter. And we're going to let this melt in our pan. Our butter's melted, y'all. And you can see it's kind of sizzling. So we're gonna add our pecans, and we're gonna, ooh, how good does that look? I think we need a pie crust, Eddie, don't you?
Not even.
Have us some pecan pie.
A spoon.
Yeah, a spoon or bowl of ice cream. So I'm just gonna let those kind of toast for a minute, and they'll start getting a little brown, and a nutty smell will happen. But you definitely don't want to burn them. I'll let those fry maybe 2 or 3 minutes, right, Eddie?
Yes.
And now I'm gonna add my brown sugar. And we're gonna cook this until the sugar melts. And we're gonna go ahead and add our molasses. Oh, and I took all the calories out of this. Right, Eddie? We're gonna eat good, healthy turkey.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, I don't think you can count calories.
No. And then we're gonna add our honey. I do love honey. And our honey, the Paula Deen brand of honey, is delicious too. Okay. So we're gonna let this come back to a boil. After all the sugar melts, I highly recommend cooking your turkey in a roasting pan where your turkey is up off the bottom. I just like the way of doing this. And then you've got all your turkey goodies down there for your dressing or your giblet gravy or brown gravy. So our glaze has come back to boil. But I want to get it to a rolling ball. And then we're going to cut it down and let it simmer for 5-10 minutes. We just want it to have like a little thicker glazed look to it. So you can see that's boiling nicely now. You can tell all over the top. Now here comes the alcohol. That's what it does to our insides too, isn't it, Ed? It makes that noise while it's going in your belly.
I think I felt that way a couple of times.
Oh my goodness. It smells wonderful. Mm-hmm. Can you smell it, Ed?
I can.
Okay. So we're just going to turn that down and let it simmer until it gets a little thicker. This turkey is as beautiful as it gets, y'all. And I am going to take a little bit of our glaze. Now you'll want this to cool, you'll want it to cool some. And we're just going to drizzle that on top of our turkey. Just like this. That's all right, Nut. You can kind of go down there. And then the rest of our glaze, I'm going to put in our gravy boat. And if anybody loves the glaze as much as I do, there'll be some extra there for them. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.